Side 2 begins with the title track, No More Heroes. Even if you hadn't heard much of the band before, chances are good you've heard of this song. From the iconic opening guitar riff to the keyboard melody that runs through most of this song, both the guitar and keyboard solos, and that hard rocking chorus. This is definitely one of the Stranglers' more iconic tracks, along with Peaches and Golden Brown. In this, lead singer and guitarist Hugh Cornwell asks whatever happened to certain figures in history, whom he refers to as heroes, such as Leon Trotsky, Vladimir Lenin, Emile Delhoury, William Shakespeare, and even fictional character Sancho Panza from Don Quixote. Whether any of these people could actually be considered heroes objectively or subjectively is up to a matter of opinion and debate. Though one thing's for sure, we can be heroes just for one day. When he mentions Trotsky, Hugh brings up how he got an ice pick that made his ears burn. This is likely a reference to how the actual Leon Trotsky was killed, even though it was actually an ice axe that was used as a weapon to kill him with. I mean, it's not like it would have changed up the overall beat or rhythm or anything. They're both one-syllable words. But anyways, yeah, this is definitely the big highlight of the album and its definite centerpiece. A true punk rock anthem. And if you haven't listened to it before then, well, go check it out. It's really worth it. Next is Peasant in the Big S-word T. Yeah, I'm sure you know what that last word stands for. Anyways, the other of two songs here to have Dave Greenfield taking on lead vocals, it's also where his keyboards and synthesizers really shine through, especially under a rather moody bass line and drum beat. With a gritty tone of voice similar to someone like Danny Elfman, Dave sings how the day is sticky yellow, ew, the night was so uptight, and the cows go moo. I don't know whether or not he actually succeeded in making a cow moo sound eerie, but I'd give him props for trying at least. Later he addresses that there'd be a strange garlic here. I guess someone had set up a whole pack of garlic bulbs to ward off vampires. The room is full of fear. Turns out the room itself has severe claustrophobia, and with empty wavelength touch. It's coming in a rush. This is one of the more spookier sounding songs from the Stranglers' track record. In fact, one could imagine hearing this in one of those old 80s horror films like An American Werewolf in London or Return of the Living Dead. Then we have Burning Up Time. Another fast-paced rocker with the vocals of J.J. Bennell, or Jean-Jacques Bennell, singing about the Brighton train going real soon and how his Brighton Belle is in her room. I might be learning more about these band members than I initially anticipated. Then he goes on about, well, burning up time, as if spending, or rather wasting, time doing pretty much whatever the heck he wants. A lot of noise to make and no time for compromise. The song itself does remind me a bit of Down in the Tube and Midnight by The Jam, both musically and, well, mentioning in a train in its lyrics. It's also one of the few songs in punk rock I could recall ending on a fade out instead of a normal outro, like a big climax or something. It might have been more common than I give it credit for, but it was just something worth note. Afterwards are English Towns, the penultimate song in the album and featuring Hugh's vocals once more. Here, he sings how there's no love inside him, 'cause he gave it to 1,000 girls. Who knew love could be a finite resource? The dogs, they tried to possess us, and Hugh could hear their anguished cries. Clearly, he needs to sing them a lullaby. Or perform an exorcism. Or better yet, both. You could see their astonished eyes, how they look the same to him, and then he sighs, as are the same with their secrets, seeking pleasure and seeking fame. But actually, it's more seeking student grants and apprenticeships. And being the shortest song of the album, at about 2 minutes and 12 seconds, it goes by so quickly you'd almost forget it. It was often common for punk songs back in the day to be as short as they were fast, most of them lasting around 2 or 3 minutes as usual. And like with Burning Up Time, it may not be much special, but it's still enjoyable in its own way. We then go from the shortest track here to the longest track here, as the album concludes with School Ma'am, clocking up to over 7 minutes, something I don't think was common back in the punk rock scene of the day. Is it possible to label this song progressive punk? Or prunk? I don't know. Anyways, as you might imagine from the title, we first hear the audio sounds of school children just playing around in what seems to be a school playground of sorts, soon before we could hear a bell ringing, like an old school bell, as the song itself starts proper, where Hugh sings about a fine day in the classroom. While one pupil, Julie, has a headache, another, Sarah, has to stay behind to help up with the drills, as the teacher had his eyes on her, before moving in for the kill. That's totally not creepy. The song goes on and on about the mundanity of being a school tutor, or school ma'am as this song puts it, to the point of Hugh repeating 49.9 over and over by the climax. It's a bit like a proto-Happiest Days of Our Lives or Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 by Pink Floyd, except it's from a teacher's point of view rather than the students. And as a bookend, it ends with the sounds of school children again, representing the viciously endless cycle, and of course, ending the overall album as a whole. And so, that was No More Heroes by the Stranglers, and it is pretty good. The songs are simple yet rocking, the vocals are well arranged, and the solos are fantastic. This is a very punky album, and it certainly won't be the last one I'll be looking at, even this year. However, next time though, we continue Anarachnoween with a little foxtrot with Genesis.